Hi, friends. Good morning and happy solstice. I am Suzanne Alexandria, and it is my pleasure to be live today on this gorgeous day. Wherever you are, I am in Denver, Colorado, and I am so happy to be hosting this solstice. Uh, just a little information and some juju. I'm an energy healer. I am an intuitive, and I like to do these things. This is my first time doing them in this new setting. And so here on Facebook, in this Facebook page, but I'm so delighted. So today I've got a little bit of inspiration and how I like to think about a solstice. I love me a good solstice, like a lot of us do. And this one feels particularly auspicious. Hi, Naomi. This one is feeling so good, and I hope it's feeling good for you. And maybe if it's not, let's pivot that. Let's figure out some stuff, because when there is this cosmic event like a solstice, the earth literally is shifting. And what I'm most struck by is that the earth is shifting today on her axis, totally shifting back or forward, let's just say forward into a new direction. And for us in the Northern Hemisphere, we get to start this process of longer days. And I can't even fathom what this means for the planet Earth. Like how does she actually shift her axis? Like I can't really fathom that. It's pretty mind-boggling. But what I'm capitalizing on is to the innate ability and opportunity that something like this cosmic event holds for us to do the same thing if you want to, if you need to, if you've got some stuff to shift. And it's in front of the new year coming into 2022. We've got holidays. Those are always a mixed bag of gifts, right? But shifting. That is going to be my theme for right now. And I would love comments. I'd love any questions. If you got questions, if you want to share as we go along with this. So one of the big questions for the new year going into 2022 now is always, what are our intentions? What kind of intentions can we set? What are your New Year's resolutions? Do you want to shift? What do you want to change? And one thing I do know is that, it takes more than just deciding on one day that you're going to set some intentions. And statistics show most New Year's resolutions are done and forgotten by the end of January, and life goes on and bloody, bloody, blah. So my goal for myself and the people I work with as a coach is to really be harnessing this day. We had a new moon, we have new year, be harnessing this whole spread of time to pivot. But then, it's a year-long endeavor, and maybe you're planning once to go further out. But a year is kind of a good chunk of time to be envisioning. But what are the changes that, underlying in your platform that you even want to make so that your resolutions or your intentions can really be manifested? That's what I've learned is the secret. You got to build a platform. You got to build things that keep you stable, a block. And we have a tarot card today that speaks to that. So the number 4, the number 4 is signifies a block, a cube, and that's one of the things. How do you want to pivot and create some new foundations for yourself in order to pivot? So one of the visuals that I have today that I'd just like to offer this as a way to think about moving into the new year, but also being in sacred harmony on this day, because my intention is to allow harmony and alignment on this day, because this is the only day we got right now, and to be able to leverage whatever you want to pivot. So if you want to make notes for yourself, jot down some things for your new vision board. Whatever comes to you, let this be a time where maybe you get a little inspiration about what you want to change, what you want to pivot. And one of the visuals is riding the wave and surfing. So as I was meditating today, I got this cool visual, and this is what this theme is about. So I'm not a surfer. I don't think I'll ever surf, but I do love a paddleboard on placid waters. And when you're surfing, from what I know, I've watched them, you are on the board on your belly. And there's a friggin' wave out there. It might be really huge. Hi, Juliana. Julie. Oh my gosh. It's so good. Julie, oh my God, Julie used to babysit my kiddos back in Virginia. It's so good to have you on here. So when you're a surfer, there's an amazing wave coming. Like, that's what they thrive on. They're like, oh yeah, it's coming. It's okay when they're in the lull, because they're out there and they're knowing that, oh my God, it's like, it's coming. And so that's what today feels like. You're on your board. Get yourself in alignment with this pivot, because the waves are coming, and life is a series of tons of waves. Sometimes I've fallen into the trap of thinking, oh my God, I'm just waiting for this one big, huge wave and that'll be it. That's actually not life. And that creates so much anxiety and so much pain when you're only thinking you're waiting for one. Life is a series of waves. But today, imagine, and you can even kind of feel into this energetically, because I'm an energy healer, I tune into energy and help people perceive, but feel into the connection, for instance, in your belly, in your feet, in your grounding, of you being on your own surfboard of your life and paddling. There's something out there you want, you're working for it. You can maybe even see it, or maybe you can't for a while. That's okay. You trust, you have faith. You're paddling, the sun is on you. And when it's the right time, you're going to know when to pivot. That surfer knows when she has to stand up and get firm on her feet and ride it. And that's what I'm really seeing as the sweet spot of being in flow, but taking conscious action, knowing what you're going towards, knowing what you want, allowing the universe to bring you a wave or two, allowing life to happen. Sometimes you fall off the surfboard, you gotta get back on. It's just life. And when we can tune in to the energy, we can tune into the anticipation, the expectation, it gets like way more easy. And take it from me, from someone who has often fought this. I don't come by this understanding without some school for hard knocks, like growing and figuring it out. And on this day, this is one thing I offer as a way I have found to learn to navigate and harness and take advantage of stuff like this blessed solstice. So what I want to do is just read a little bit about how you might think about yourself on this day and as you move forward and on your surfboard of life. I love to use tarot cards as a form of my own navigation. And so I drew a tarot card that is the Emperor. Oh, Juliana, trust and faith. My friends always tell me not to block my blessings. Yeah, don't block your blessings. Don't block the waves, right? That message always does something to you. Yeah, because when you're alert and in alignment on your board, then you see. The whole point is that you can see the waves coming along. You can see when they're going to crest. You have a better sense of it, using your intuition, using your guidance, using your gut instinct. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So the card I drew was the Emperor card. And as you can imagine, So this is relevant whether you are a woman or a man. We all have both. But the emperor is squarely on his throne. Look at that. Like, he is in his power. He has a black horse and a white horse on either side, yin and yang. They are in balance. He has this amazing cat who's there at his side, guiding him, protecting him perhaps. He's laid down his sword and he is really in alignment. I want to focus on the star up above. Look familiar? We got a little North Star action coming our way in a few days with our holiday. And the sun and the moon. So what more perfect card could I have drawn on this day than this one? I mean, there would always be another perfect card, but this is relevant for us in this talk about staying on our surfboard, navigating, and being alert and being in alignment. Because I want to focus and call in for you. And if you'd like a little confirmation and a little way to navigate today, say a little prayer that you are in alignment with your highest, best life, your highest, best self, your soul, your heart, the universe, God, spirit, the earth. Calling in alignment on this day in particular is really, that's like my biggest message, because when you're in alignment, then you know yourself, and you know when the tides are turning, when to pivot, when to get up on that board and ride. So be the king of your experience, be the queen of your experience. I'm just going to read a little bit from this card. This is actually the Star Tarot, which I love. It was just gifted to me by a benevolent sister, and it's just a blessed set of tarot cards. So the Emperor is yang energy. So when I read this, I just encourage you to think about this in the context of whatever your life is and who you are, who you're becoming. Think of it as you or a higher presence, whatever you want. Like, it doesn't matter. It's all your experience. So however you interpret this that's the beauty of tarot. It's a guide. It's a way to think. It's a way to pop open some nugget of golden deliciousness of insight and take it and run with it. And so the Emperor, what it says is that the Emperor is really yang energy. It's active. Yang is active energy. And it's called, and he's called the father of civilization. Like the Emperor, this might to you be a God force, a higher power, but it might be what's in you also. So again, there's no order to it necessarily. Use your interpretation. But this father energy, father of civilization, the civilization in you, the empire in you, the throne that you're on, bringing order and structure to situations that are chaotic or out of balance. So if you've got something in your life that's chaotic or out of balance, maybe that's what you set an intention for, to get clear on, to get in alignment, and to open your eyes, to paddle to a different part of the sea, and to see it, and to figure it out, fix it for yourself. There's a good call to that with this day, with pivoting. And those are the kinds of things we can use these events, like a solstice or a new moon or a full moon or any day, frankly, any day. These are just biggies. So the Emperor symbolizes the mature and the masculine, taking ownership of himself, herself, and the universal father principle. He's a mediator, balancing the forces between the realm of the spirit with the material world. So in between the realms, your spirit, your material world, your energy and the energy of Gaia, of the earth that's pivoting, your heart, the heart of the earth. This is all a big opportunity today to fall into alignment with yourself and the universe. If you want to, say yes to that. And that's actually the kind of thing I help people do in my business. I'm here in my office. I help people energetically get into alignment so that they can pivot. So if you're not even sure what I'm talking about, but you're curious, or if you need some assistance, because sometimes we do, then send me a private message and we should talk. Because I do sessions here, I teach classes. But the Emperor, so he symbolizes form, wholeness. Oh, sorry. The number of the Emperor is the number 4. And the number 4 symbolizes form, wholeness, and new beginnings. It represents aspects in the physical world. The 4 directions guide us. The 4 seasons are the reality here on Earth. The 4 elements are part of our world. The 4 phases of the moon guide us and really, really draw our water in our body and on the Earth. And there are 4 basic geometric figures: circle, square, line, and triangle. So when I was talking about the 4 earlier, like, get yourself in alignment with nature, with all of these aspects. It's really a powerful way to navigate your life and to ride on your surfboard when you're like centered in those things. If you're really far left of center or right of center on anything, you know that never feels good. And so this solstice, to me, is the time. Seize it and take it and let it ground you into that. 4 represents completion and starting something new from a strong foundation. That's it. Completion and starting something new from a strong foundation. The Emperor protects his kingdom by creating a strong, solid foundation in your soul, in your energy, but also in your life, in your home, in your relationships, in the world. He creates a safe, secure place where one can think and balance emotions and thoughts rather than reacting from a survivalist position. The Emperor brings the idea of logos, or word, expressing one's inward and outward journeys with language and communication. So there's a lot more, but isn't that the perfect card? I just love it when that happens, and it always does when you draw a card. But think about that. When you're riding your surfboard, you know if there's a storm brewing over there. You know if the sun's too hot. You're watching if there's a shark. You're watching if there's dolphins. You're watching your back. You got to watch, but then you're in flow. So the Emperor does that. He's not on his throne willy-nilly. Like, it takes a lot of conscious thought to be that kind of stable person. And it's so worth it, because then you can be like so calm. Look at how he's on his throne, but he is calm. And he's tamed this cat, and this cat looks like he even just wants to lick his fingers or eat something, because the cat is no threat. So we got this mix of visuals. I just love a good visual to help solidify and help you all hold on to something that's relevant. So that's my main message today. I'd love any comments or thoughts. I see there's several people watching. If you have any questions, maybe you just want to put a blessing out to your peeps or to us. I just wanted to share this as a frame of reference. So maybe I'll just recap. For this day, use it. Use this one day. Use it or lose it. So one day you got. Ride the wave. If you need and want to pivot something in your life, today and New Year's Day and Christmas, it's all a good day to start getting really clear. Like, oh, what do I want to tweak so that I roll into the new year on top of the wave? I personally, that's why I'm doing this. I want to roll into the new year on top of the wave, on top of my game. So I'm not waiting till New Year's Day. I started already a while ago, and maybe you want to join me. So yeah, Micah, pivot. Hallelujah for the pivot, right? That could be a bumper sticker. I feel like I've been pivoting for the last 20 years, but why not another day? I love you all. If you don't know me, I'm Suzanne Alexandria. I'm an intuitive and an energy guide, and I'm a coach. And I coach women and men who are leaders, who are shakers and movers, who really want to be like their own best guide, like the emperor, like the empress. And I teach classes. I've got some stuff rolling out into the new year. So if you want to get on my list, just send me a message on Facebook or on Instagram, or go to SuzanneAlexandria.com and get on my email list. I'm going to be rolling out a subscription, monthly subscription for some really in-depth guidance for subscribers, and lots of other stuff, cooking. So I'd love to ride the waves with you all. And happy solstice. Make tonight, the nighttime for the solstice is special. Maybe make a special dinner, a special ceremony, do some journaling, light a bonfire. I'm going to have a bonfire in my backyard, letting go of the old, bringing in the new. Like, to me, it's basically that. Out with the old constructs, the old juju, the old thoughts. One of the things I'm walking away from is shame. I've been like working and realizing about shame, and I'm done with it. I'm done with it in my life. So maybe you're done with something big like that and you want to walk away. And if you want some help with that, that's what I do. So blessings to you, and I'll see you on the next video or elsewhere in your life. Naomi, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad you are here, sister. Micah, Julia. It's just been a blessing. I don't know who else is on, but there's more, and I thank you, and I will see you soon. Love you guys.